was so it was obvious to me when we first started working together and research, and I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like, the only thing I could come up with was the same thing you could come up with, and that is that the neighbor wanted your dad's house.
Yep.
And in order to get your house, she was going to take your father, and she already got his money, but she was going to separate you from your safety, which is your husband.
Yes.
Make your life unbearable till you cry mercy, and then she won, right? So
Yep.
I want Dan to kind of chime in on, like, you know, what happened the first time you guys went to court, when you were there and he missed the thing and all this nonsense. I'd like for like the both of y'all to kind of get into that part, because that was ridiculous. I mean, he was clearly ready. He was clearly bussed over there and everything, but it was just maybe they couldn't handle what was getting put into the record at the time. So I'm gonna let you guys have the mic back and kind of walk us how the court processing, how the bonds and stuff like that went on.
My first court date actually was, I was still free to go to it.
Well, they lied at the arraignment.
And well, yeah, my arraignment, they lied and they said that I had 5 guns, that I had guns that were used in robberies in Pomona. They fabricated multiple charges against me just to mess with me, keep me locked up, or, you know, get me locked up. Everything about my case is fictitious. Everything about it is just manufactured. They work. Okay, back to it. The first time I went to actual court with the DA that I'm dealing with right now, it was like watching somebody that was like on methamphetamine. He's jumping around the courtroom. He's puffing his chest out at me. He's lunging at me like he wants to fight with me. He's accusing me of being a sovereign citizen, saying that I'm a terrorist, I'm a horrible person because of my belief system. There was at least a dozen armed cops between me and freedom at that point, and I was actually free. I walked into the courtroom a free man, and they sealed the doors off and brought at least a dozen sheriffs in there to intimidate me and my wife. They sent them all the paperwork for like secured party. I sent them affidavits, putting the judge as my fiduciary trustee, everything we could think of that we sent in, and they actually gave it all back in the end and said that they refused to look at any of it. I mean, it's been a wild process because no matter what I do, the courts do not care out here. They're making you a criminal period end. You know, there's no
they have a counter for everything.
Yeah, they have a counter for everything, and there's no innocent and proven guilty. You are 100% guilty until you can prove yourself innocent in California. 94% of all cases in California end up in deals. None of them rarely go to trial.
Right. And I'm gonna stop you real quick, because something that you said like stood out to me. And what it was is that in the end, they gave you all the paperwork back. That's actually a key right there, because I'm pretty sure you won't have this issue again. We are going to have to tighten up a couple of things with the filing that we used. And Jamie is in the course going through that material currently. So we're going to get your secure party stuff tightened up and get you guys the understanding, so you don't have to go through this anymore. But I believe, like, Jamie, talk a little bit about when you put in the documents and the trustee appointments, how they were trying to keep you out of the courts and keep him out of the courts, and when that kind of changed.
They didn't want me in the courtroom, and they said because I'm supposedly a potential witness, technically, in fact, I'm the only witness, but they were not allowing me to walk into the courtroom no matter what. And I'm not going to fight with them. They've got armed sheriffs waiting for us, because we were told by one of the public defenders, actually. She said, basically they want us to do anything so that they can physically attack us and arrest us. So they wanted us to do something. Now, the paperwork, both of the judges are actually, the first judge has already retired, and the judge that he went in front of Friday is retiring next month.
I want you to stop right there, because for the YouTube people that don't really understand what we do here at the school and how I help the students with their situations, I need them to understand what you just said and why you said it. So as far as when you put in the trustee appointment, the document set that we did that had the trustee appointment in it, give us the time frame from when those documents went in to when judges started disappearing and stuff.
So you did that in December, and his court date was somewhere like within a week of that. So mid-December, the judge retired the first week of January. The other oath was not up yet, and she just straight retired. She just passed it to another judge, like at his last court date. And that judge, I forget his name, but when we went,
they sent a pro tem in there though.
It was a fat white lady. I'm like, I don't think
so. It was a janitor, I think.
Yeah. And she wasn't hearing none of it. She sent him to mental court. And then he went in front of the male judge last time just to get a new court date. Friday when he did the plea deal. But Friday it was announced that this gentleman was retiring next month.